Hey guys, it's Shadsoft11 here, and here is a brand new commentary I've made. It's a little different to my other commentaries, because as my other commentaries are mainly defending video games, which I like, this time I do a commentary on a review for a game which I personally think is a piece of crap. So, which game is this? Sonic Riders. Now, I want to address a little something on why I chose this game. Back in January, I made a list of the top 10 worst Sonic games in my opinion. So far, it's been one of my most controversial videos yet, mainly because I put Sonic Riders on the list. Granted, it isn't the worst Sonic game out there, but I was shocked to see that so many people liked it. However, if you thought I was unfair to the game, then that's nothing compared to Game Dude's review. Yes, Game Dude is another AVGN wannabe who likes to think he's funny and a good actor, when really he isn't. He is also a major nitpicker at games. So, let's see what he has to say about Sonic Riders, shall we?
Oh boy. Oh boy!
Notice how at the beginning of his reviews he always has to put inspired by the nerd to try and make it sound like he's not ripping him off. Also how he has a Super Mario Galaxy poster and to try and make himself look like a gamer. No, you're not fooling me, Game Dude. I know you're not a gamer and you're an AVGN rip-off.
Oh man. Sonic Riders! Another Mario Kart clone.
No, it isn't a Mario Kart clone. They are completely different games. Mario Kart is a kart racing game in which you use items as weapons. Sonic Riders is an airborne racing game, and it uses completely different mechanics. So what are you saying? That all racing games featuring video game mascots are automatically Mario Kart clones? Just because Mario had a racing game first, that doesn't mean Sonic isn't allowed to have one as well, you know.
Like, how many of them do we need? And you want to know what they all have in common? They all suck.
Well, to be fair, not all of them suck. Look at Crash Team Racing. Are you going to call that a Mario Kart ripoff as well? Also, Crash Tag Team Racing was really good, in my opinion. Lego Racers for the PC was also a great racer as well. Most of the clones might suck, but saying they all suck is a bit unfair if you ask me.
Now, I guess this one isn't really a Mario Kart clone.
Then why did you waste the first part of your video going on about Mario Kart clones?
I mean, it's a futuristic hoverboard racing game.
If anything, it sounds to me more like an F-Zero clone, but that would really be pushing it.
But it might as well be.
Every video game mascot that so much as tries to make a racing game is automatically a Mario Kart clone. As I said before, the two games are completely different.
And besides, it's still definitely another shitty Sonic game.
Oh god, not this. Game Dude is another one of these old school Sonic fags like Testes125 and I Am Sally 1001. Who think that after the year 2000 there has not been one good Sonic game. If you give legit reasons as to why you hate the games, then fair enough. But let's just see what Game Dude has to say.
But now the birds. Why are there birds?
Really? Complaining about birds, which by the way are called the Babylon Rouges in a Sonic game. Complaining about this would be like complaining about the Super Team in Mario Smash Football. They were characters specifically designed for a spin-off game. Now, I know what you're all thinking, but Tom, you hate the Babylon Rouges as well. That is true, but I didn't judge them when I first saw them. I played the game before giving my opinions on them. Unlike Captain Nitpick here.
You know what? Why bother? I mean, they'll never be erased from existence, so I guess you might as well just accept them.
Okay, could we please get to the actual game now? Because I myself am fed up of all these stupid statements you're making like Mario Kart clones and these characters will never be erased from existence, etc. If you want to actually convince people that the game is bad, you're going to have to do better than that.
Right? Well, you can accept them, not me.
Yes, nitpicker and proud of it.
I mean, why are there so many characters? All we need, or actually needed, were Sonic and Tails!
What about Dr. Eggman, the main villain? I'm pretty sure he plays an important part in the games as well. And hey, that's not to say all the other characters suck. Knuckles and Shadow are awesome characters. So is Silver. Oh shit, now the retro fanboys will be calling me a new fag. Oh well, I'd rather be a new fag than a stupid AVGN wannabe.
Now they suck too. They all suck. They can all go row a boat and fall down a waterfall and die.
Get on point, stupid!
But you know what? You know what the best part about this game is? The gloves. I mean, look at those gloves. Those are some realistic gloves, man. Like, wow, you can see like every single strand.
But who really cares though? It was to my knowledge that realistic looking gloves don't make games.
I'm impressed. That's the best part about the game, the gloves.
Really? What about the game's opening cutscene and the music? Nope, it's all about the gloves. Guess what, game dude? No one cares but you.
But anyway, this is one of those games, you know, one of those games you look at and you're just like, you know, like why bother, right?
Actually, no. When I first saw the game, I thought, a Sonic airborne racing game. This sounds like an interesting concept, so I bought the game. I personally didn't like the game, but I didn't bash it unfairly either like what you're doing. I mean, it's the same with Sonic and the Black Knight. Most people look at it and think, Sonic with a sword, oh my god, this game sucks. But I thought that it could work if done right. I mean, Sonic with a sword sounded pretty cool in my opinion. And granted I didn't enjoy that game either, but at least I tried it. I think it's about time Game Dude learnt the saying, never judge a book by its cover. Then maybe he wouldn't make as many stupid statements as he does. I'm just saying maybe.
This is one of those games, right here. This is one of those games. It just might as well not exist.
Get on point, stupid!
But seriously though, what is the point of all this? It's been nearly 2 minutes into this review, and you haven't discussed the gameplay once, or even shown us any footage of the game. All you've been going on about is how there are too many Mario Kart clones, and how this game should never exist, and why Sega even bother with it. If you want this video to even be classified as a review, you need to get on the point and actually review this game.
So, anyway, let's play this game.
Finally, we get to actually playing the game now. Whew, I thought we'd never get there.
Ignore the cool sound effects. They're nothing but a lie.
Yes, because as we all know, people judge games based on sound effects.
Now, I know you're looking at this and you're thinking, this doesn't look bad, but trust me, don't be deceived by the nice colorful graphics. It's garbage.
Okay, I'm now going to state why I don't like Sonic Riders myself. I thought the controls were too loose, the turning is just awkward, and when you try to turn sharply by holding R1 and turning, it often throws you off. And when you hit walls, it's very easy to lose control of your board, and it can easily cost you the race as well. Doesn't help also that the AI is really cheap, but that's just me. Now let's see what Game Dude's thoughts on the game are.
The controls are abysmal. You keep hitting the walls, going all over the place, and sure, you move fast, but not fast enough for the wide and long racetracks.
See, I don't need to go into any sort of detail on how bad the controls are. I could just say they suck and people believe me because my fans are stupid. Seriously though, this proves nothing except that you both suck at the game and can't elaborate on your points.
Also, collecting all the rings is nearly impossible because you can't maneuver fast enough to get them.
Or maybe you're just the one who's stupid enough to try and get every single ring. There are loads of rings on the tracks, and I think you can only hold 100 per race, so it's not really necessary to collect every single ring. Only idiots like you would point out something like this.
And they come out of nowhere.
Okay, by that statement, you make it sound like they aren't in sight and don't appear until you're right next to them. That problem in games is known as graphic pop-up, but as far to my knowledge, this game doesn't have any graphic pop-up. If you want a racing game with popping up graphics, play Wipeout 64. The graphics for that game are really flawed, but this game doesn't have that problem. As the old saying goes, it ain't the game, it's the player.
There's nothing worse than missing an entire row of nice, shiny rings. Nothing. You know what's really annoying? That voice that keeps repeating itself.
Okay, I will admit that voice gets annoying at times. I mean, imagine if you were playing F-Zero GX and you kept hearing, "Captain Falcon took the lead, he just got overtaken," or "boost power used." It would get annoying and often distracting. At least in normal mode you have the option to turn it off, but it's not really a major part of the game.
Thankfully it's a hot chick's voice.
I hate to be the bringer of bad news, but that hot chick's voice is actually Omocho. So you think Omocho sounds like a hot chick? Wow, you really need to get your facts straight before saying something like that, game dude.
Well, there you have it. Sonic Riders.
Wait, was that it? A 50-second review? Pathetic. You never went in any kind of depth with the game's gameplay, story mode, controls, etc. All you did was take the Irate Gamer approach to reviewing the game. Because the only level you showed in the video was the first race, I'm guessing you never got past that. You must have played the game once, said it sucked, and then slapped this half-ass excuse for a review together. There's a certain term we use for reviews like this. Would you care to tell him what it is, wee viewer?
Snap Judgment Review.
Yep, that's right. I myself got to, I think, the Babylon Garden before I just hit the wall and gave up. But hey, at least I put more effort into playing the game than Game Dude did.
It sucks.
Just like this review.
But you want to know what the worst part about the game is? The absolute worst part?
Okay, place your bets everyone. Place your bets on what's coming up next and whether or not he's going to rip off an AVGN line. Odds for AVGN rip-off are quite high at this moment in time, so place your bets everyone. Okay, all bets are in now as we find out exactly what he's going to say.
No, man. There's a sequel!
Okay, then, everyone who guessed he was going to rip off AVGN's line from Back to the Future review, congratulations, you win yourself a cookie. An imaginary cookie. I wonder what AVGN makes of this.
Sonic Riders Zero Gravity.
Now, I just want to throw this out there. I have the PS2 version of Sonic Riders Zero Gravity, and I think it's actually an improvement over its predecessor. The controls are tighter and the boards move more fluently. The new gravity mechanics add a lot more to the gameplay, and there's different types of vehicles like the bike, the air shoes, and the broomstick. So I agree with Darkness the Curse on this game, as it has more of a fun factor than Sonic Riders did.
Now, if there's no gravity, then how can they hoverboard? I mean, won't they just be, like, floating around and stuff?
Bullshitting about a video game title. That's another thing you and Irate have in common.
Never mind. But now the gloves, I mean, they're even more detailed now. Like, look at those gloves! Like, why are they so detailed? I'm serious. Those are the most realistic, computer-animated gloves I have ever seen. In fact, you know what? I think they put more time into making those gloves look so realistic than into making the game good.
Yes, because as we all know, realistic-looking gloves are what makes the game. Oh, forget about gameplay and design. Controls? That's a thing of the past. Realistic gloves are what makes the game good. Do you even realise how stupid that statement just sounded?
I'm not joking.
Yes, we know you're not joking. You couldn't make a joke to save your life. That's why you steal from AVGN.
Anyway, let's check it out.
Ignore the cool sound effects again, they're just another lie. Anyway, it's not much better or different than the original.
Actually, this game has many noticeable differences. The main difference is the game mechanics. Instead of air, you use gravity, which in my opinion is for the better. You can use the gravity to kind of do a matrix in order to take sharp turns. You can use it to gravitate towards walls and take shortcuts. And you can do a gravity boost to obtain great speed. As I said before as well, the game also has more vehicles than the first Sonic Riders. So this game is actually quite different from its predecessor. But knowing what you're like, you probably rush this review.
But the graphics are definitely nicer, the motion-sensitive controls are interesting, as always.
When you say interesting controls, what exactly do you mean by that?
But lack precision, so they're just as bad as the analog controls of the first one.
Okay, I would make some comment here, but I've never played the Wii version of the game. If it controls anything like Sonic and the Secret Rings did, however, then I think I'll avoid it and stick to the PS2 version.
So you're gonna crash into all the walls and be all over the place.
That is only if you suck at the game. I'm sure any fairly skilled gamer could play this game properly.
Oh, and those birds are back. Gotta love those damn birds!
Okay, since this is another Sonic Riders game, why should it surprise you that the Babylon Rouges return?
Well, that's pretty much just it. It sucks. It also might as well be just another Mario Kart clone.
Could you please refer back to a previous part of this commentary, because I am not repeating myself.
And it's just another crappy Sonic game.
What?
Wow, a 33-second review, only showing the first level, with little to no depth on the game. This was a really detailed review.
There you have it. 2 more shitty Sonic games to add to the growing pile of crap.
Wait, Sonic Adventure DX and Sonic Adventure 2 Battle? What the hell are those games doing on the crap pile? They're awesome. And for that matter, where's Sonic Genesis GBA? You know, the worst Sonic game out there. Are you really trying to say that Sonic Genesis GBA is better than the Sonic Adventure series?
Now,
Okay, I'm just going to end the review here, as this last part is just him bitching and moaning about when a good Sonic game will come out, so it's pretty much just a waste of time. So, there you have a typical Game Dude review. Would you say he's a worthy enough video game reviewer, Wayne and Garth? Exactly, that's what I thought. The big problem this guy has is he lacks going into any detail and elaborating on his points. He also does too much nitpicking on stuff which isn't even important to the game, and only about 30% of the review has any sort of gameplay. The rest was just ranting rather than reviewing. The reviews he did for the games were shorter than Navigator's reviews, and that is really saying a lot. And the other problem with Game Dude is he's not entertaining to watch. He can't make himself sound convincingly angry enough, and in his attempts to be funny, he resorts to stealing from AVGN. And of course his Sonic Riders review wasn't fair to the game. So does this mean I think Sonic Riders is a good game? No, but I would much rather play through this game than watch Game Dude's reviews, and that's at least saying something. In closing, to sum up Game Dude, he's an unfunny AVGN copycat who nitpicks games to death and never goes into much detail when reviewing games. So, that's the end of the commentary. Thanks for watching. This is Shadsauce11 saying goodbye.
It's official. You suck.